Everybody, we're back on episode 3 of our Subnautica playthrough. In the last part, we went around scavenging for silver, and in this part, we're going to be building some necessary components. I accidentally already went ahead and made our wiring kit, but now we're going to make our computer chip and begin construction of our fragment analyzer. This nifty little invention will allow us to take components such as the... what was that again? Yeah. It'll basically allow us to take the components of items we found, such as the safes, and use them to analyze components within the world. For some reason, the lighting's a little glitchy on it. In the, actually, no, we're gonna... yeah, crap. It will take some time, but not to worry. We're gonna be starting our construction of our vehicle deployment thing. I already made us the lubricant from the seed pods we grabbed earlier, so now we're gonna make ourselves a power cell. A power cell is 2 batteries and a piece of silicon rubber. I went ahead and grabbed some quartz on the way back too. Let's see. The other thing we're going to need is a titanium ingot, which requires 9 pieces of titanium. If only this was not a thing in Minecraft, that would be terrible. Especially the mariculture mod. But now we have the titanium ingot, we just need to make our power cell. That has 2 batteries and 1 piece of silicon. And boom. Also, there's a Seamoth. How did I miss that? I guess I'll make that later. Like I said, this does take some time, so give it a moment. I guess we'll cook this food that I caught as well on the way. It's always good to have some surplus food, but you want to make sure you eat any fish that you've cooked as soon as you bake it. One could mostly due to the fact that fish have expiration dates. Let's see. Creep find samples, by the way, can still be used for, well, yeah, creep find samples can still be used for, that works. Okay, the vehicle bay is deployed and all. Yay! Now, this thing has been known to glitch sometimes, and basically what it allows us to do is build the Cyclops first off, but we're going to need a lot of resources for that. On top of that, the advanced wiring kit. And once the analyzer's done, it'll allow us to build the Seamoth. Now, the latter is very good when it comes to getting around. You know, it's not a long-term device. It's meant to basically work alongside the Cyclops as a kind of exploration vessel. The Cyclops is supposed to do your long-term traveling, while the Seamoth is meant to do more of, okay, we got here, we need to go fit into a smaller cavern that's too small for the Cyclops, so let's hop out into the Seamoth and get going. On top of that, the Seamoth also has some more modular capabilities than that of its larger brethren. Also, on top of that, the Seamoth is able to be charged by the Cyclops, and eventually your base once we get to the mountain region. Now, in this part of these kelp vine forests, you got to be careful about bleeders. They're parasitic fish that latch onto you and proceed to bleed you dry. Sounds like someone on a shopping spree and their wallets with someone else's wallet, I don't know. Hey, little hoverfish, you're my little friend now. Let's see. There are some things you gotta be wary about when you're exploring even these depths, because I've done some reading and found out that stalkers do come into this part of the reef, even though they prefer to live in the creep vines. Sorry. Basically, what they'll do is they constantly will actively pursue peepers, their main food source, and will enter these regions and sometimes get proxied onto you because of it. Or aggroed onto you, whatever you want to call it. So you gotta be wary of that. Ironically, this is the reef I am unfamiliar with. This one, compared to the others, I'm not familiar with. This may be the newer terrain generation or what, something else. But either way, this wreath is not as familiar because if you notice, this one's more openly surrounded by the... Yeah, it's more surrounded on all sides. When it comes to, well, kelp vine. And those kelp vines are much bigger on top of that. Also, when fragments are done being analyzed, the computer will tell you and put a notification on screen telling you when the fragments are done being collected and all. Now I am kind of risking things going down to this volcano vent again. Up, see? And it's doing the workbench fragment. Prioritize yourself. I put the Seamoth in second. It should be doing the Seamoth now. Oh well. We're gonna need the workbench anyway. Now, you see that rock at the base of the volcanic vent. If we can get to that before the next eruption, we can actually get our... Okay, never mind. I thought it was something else, but no, it's just... Normally you'd be able to find diamonds in the volcanic vents. That is not the case here, unfortunately. Dire shame. Either way, moving on. Strange, my flashlight's at max capacity.
Warning, 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
There are certain creatures that you think are dangerous, but they're not, especially when we get later to the lower depths, such as the creature known as the gel ray. Although appearing to be something that might be dangerous when it comes to stinging, it is actually completely harmless.
Emergency, 10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
And one of my friends actually thought originally that it would actively attack the Seamoth or the yeah. It would actively attack the ships. But no, that is not all the case. Hoverfish are actually fairly filling for what it's worth, so maybe if you can't find any peepers, those are a good alternative. Now, the next tool we're going to be using, the deployable, is the Sea Glide. This is very useful for getting around, and also provides a small map. I don't know why I was missing it previously, but oh well. This device is still working on analyzing fragments, so I'll just leave it to it. Guess I'll put that other stasis fragment in there. Maybe I'll learn something else about the stabilizer or fragment I didn't know. The bench, even though it's technically useless in a sense because of you just sit on it, it is useful for at least keeping yourself a little well fed if you have to go, say, AFK, but you're too lazy to close the game. Yeah, see, it takes a while to do fragment analyzation. I guess while we're out here, we will continue working on oh yeah, let's see the Seamoth in action. Sea Glide. See, just look at that. The amount of speed you get out of this thing. It does have a limited battery, but I think due to how they did some changes, I think the battery's a little more efficient. Now, our main mission while we're out here now is just to allocate oh so necessary amounts of scrap metal. Now, like I said about bone sharks, they are not all passive. They will pursue you, but I think now with the Sea Glide we can outrun them. Yeah, bone sharks are no longer a threat. And now we can traverse deeper depths and get to the surface much more quickly. With our little buddy. And it's not too hard to power this thing. If you really are willing to make it to where you basically can go endlessly, you want to get your hands on the charge fins. These things are built from the workbench and require your standard issue fins. But once you equip them, you will be able to basically makes this thing more energy efficient. It won't let you permanently recharge this thing, but it will at least let you to go longer without having to shove another battery into this thing. Also, if you're curious what making those whale noises, this big guy is our solution, is our reason. These are reefbacks. As I mentioned in the previous episode, these guys are about as passive as can be. Their only predator is a single fish known as the Reaper Leviathan. Even still, they don't spawn in the same regions as the, well, as these guys. And you would have to normally spawn them with commands in order to make him actually duke it out.
New technology acquired.
Reefbacks will respond only to the sound of your Cyclops' horn once you build the Cyclops at all. And it's very useful for, they're not all, well actually there's no purpose, but once we get into the update level where we can start dealing with fish genetics, we can actually utilize their genes to make bigger creatures. And even probably enhance our own physical mass. Probably make us more intimidating for some of the smaller fish. Maybe stalkers won't mess with us now that they see something that's much bigger than their own diet. Look at this. A few minutes of swimming now has turned into only a... And it's turned to a few seconds of just using the Sea Glide. And it's worth the copper. I mean, it's a piece of copper every time you want to, and 3 acid mushrooms, but in my book, that's actually a decent price to pay for,
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Yeah, everything. Like I said, the episode's pretty much going to end as soon as I, or I haven't said it yet, but the episode's going to pretty much end as soon as we get our Seamoth, so it's not going to be too long of an episode. It may be, I don't know, I'll need to look at the footage later, but our main objective right now is to get our Seamoth, get it up and running, and all that good stuff. And if you already could tell, I've been using a lot of this battery up, but no biggie. No big major issue anyway, I think. Originally the Seamoth actually didn't do what it's doing right now with the radar. It doesn't provide depth detail or terrain detail and all. Even still, it's quite useful.
10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Okay, so we're just finishing that up. Might as well make the titanium we'll need. Now we're gonna need glass for the Seamoth, but we're also gonna need a power cell, so we're gonna first cure these spadefish. Yeah, spadefish are really salty. And any cured fish will reduce your H2O content, or your hydration, but it's not too big of a deal. Okay, I thought these creatures were completely passive, but no. Yes, I died by stupidity. Sorry about that, people. I thought those things were completely passive. I didn't know they actually were jellyfish. And dangerous jellyfish at that. Also, I didn't hear the crashes. Yeah, deep sea exploration's odds without its threats, especially the fact of stealing dwelling jellyfish. I do apologize greatly for that just embarrassing death. Alright, so I guess while we're waiting for things to happen and the fragment analyzer to finish the didn't already, I'm going to quickly grab ourselves some more quartz. Quartz, a valuable resource. Wish it was a little more common, or at least being able to more synthesize it. Also, fun fact, the
technology created.
Bingo. Okay, so now that we have our Seamoth, we'll head back to base real quick, and then we'll start working on allocating resources for that. I'm saying allocating a lot in this video, I don't know. I guess it's just the word of the day. If you enjoyed this video, though, I do recommend you, or just do enjoy me watching this footage, I do recommend you play the game yourself. It's not too much on Steam right now due to the Christmas sale and all, so your wallets must be ready for this, hopefully. Alright, now that we got that, let's go ahead and see what we're going to need for the Seamoth specifically. Seamoth, so we're going to need titanium, a power cell, 2 glass, and a lubricant. Alright, so we're going to need more sea pods, and we have the titanium, we need the power cell, 1 more glass, and the, that's about it. You're not going to need too many of these seed pods, to be honest. You probably, in total, only need like 8. Like in grand whopping total, you're only probably going to need 8. 1 for the Seamoth, 1 for the Cyclops, 1 for the Sea Glide, and then you're going to need 1 for the Moon Pool. If there's anything else I'm missing when it comes to recipes that involve lubricant, I do apologize. Okay, so that's the thing now. Let's put some copper up, because we're not going to need too much copper in inventory, and not all this titanium either. Also, we're going to need to grab another piece of quartz. So we're going to need some acid mushrooms, so we're going to need at least 9, because I want to get 1 for the Seamoth, or Sea Glide. Like I said before, though, when it comes to inventory, I think I've said this in the previous episode, you only need to entering and exiting the life pod and your Cyclops and also bases will secure your inventory. So if you die, your inventory is completely secured when you enter from entering and exiting the bases. I'm not sure about the Seamoth, though. And obviously the Sea Glide can't do that. Now, unfortunately, I wish this, given the future and all, I wish we could kind of improve the efficiency of this device. I mean, we're in the future, and yet we still rely on acid-based batteries to power even the most basic of equipment. I don't know. Maybe eventually they'll add to the future where you can make a more power efficient Sea Glide, or maybe even a faster one. Who knows? Either way, let's get these batteries made, get our Seamoth built. Crap. Okay, we're gonna need to find another quartz, because I screwed up. Well, at least that's the basic components we're gonna need. We're gonna need at least 1 more shard of quartz. which is unfortunate. I'm sorry I'm delaying this game or the end of this video a little too much, but the longer the video, the more you can enjoy my my company, I guess. This works. This works well. Yep, there's what the gasopods do when they're threatened. You don't want to come in contact with those whatever you want to call them, those pods, or even the clouds that emit from when they detonate, because they will damage you, and they will damage you for a decent amount of health. Alright, now let's make glass. And put the rest of the silicon quartz up, because we don't need it. I believe that is all we need, so let's go build this Seamoth and get this episode wrapped up. Don't worry though, once I get our basic resources out of the way and our basic needs out of the way, here we go. Alright people, the Seamoth is built. Now, as a quick tutorial, real quick, there is an upgrade module here where we can stuff augments into the Seamoth. There's only one side though, so we can't actually. We can stuff in a maximum of 8 different upgrades into the Seamoth. It has a power cell right here, so you can reload its fuel supply. Don't bother about the fact I'm constantly bonking it. Once we get to a certain facility, we can then upgrade the Seamoth. Much faster than the Sea Glide. And also a little more energy efficient. It will provide you with oxygen when underwater, and can go to much greater depths without you turning into a crushed tin can. Alright, so this has been the episode 3 of Subnautica. If you like this video, don't leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more of this, well, hopefully more will be coming out. And we'll see you guys next time when we explore the greater depths of this ocean. See ya!